What we need to do is to educate and educate. What makes me very unhappy. We know what's to be done. Why should that happen in a Bharat which is progressive? There is so much plus happening in the country and I'm very proud of what progress is taking place.
Welcome to this edition of Sustainability Karma. I'm your host Rajiv Tikoo. Today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. He is the co-founder and managing director of Hiranandani Group. It is one of the oldest and the biggest real estate groups in the country. Welcome Dr. Hiranandani to this edition of Sustainability Karma.
Thank you.
Climate change incidents increasing. How does it affect the real estate sector which has been typically into mitigation? Now how is it taking cognizance of climate resilience going forward, particularly with the sea level rising in a city like Mumbai?
I think you have touched a very sensitive subject, especially in places like Delhi where we have had pollution in terms of activity, and there were multiple levels and reasons why everything has gone wrong. So when we work on sustainability, when we talk about climate change, when we talk about it, we need cooperation from the top down and from bottom up. What do I mean by that? Smallest things in terms of saving water, small things in terms of recycling water, smallest things in terms of segregation of waste, big things when we talk about city governments to be able to do treatment of raw sewage which is flowing out of the sewage lines to be actually recycled and reused. Those are important things. Protection of our rivers, taking care of our denuded forests, converting the vehicles into EC, electrical thing, and all those activities put together. So when we talk about sustainability affecting real estate, it depends on the developer who has scale, those who have the capability, those who have the possibility of doing it, or those who just do a small one building. There are limitations to what he can do, but he can still do it. So it's not that he cannot do it, he can also do it. So from a small one-person unit living in the house, a woman of the house, a man of the house, a child in the thing, I think we need to educate everybody of what we are going to do. And that is how sustainability of India is going to take place. So, ऊपर से भी करना है, सरकार को भी करना है, लोकल अथॉरिटी को भी करना है, डेवलपर्स को करनी चाहिए, इंडिविजुअल्स को घर में करना चाहिए, उनके मकानों में करना चाहिए. तो आई थिंक हर एक को इसमें भाग लेने की जरूरत है. लास्ट जो आपने बात की, जिक्र की, what you mentioned about this sustainability which is taking climate change at a level where oceans are rising. I think it's a world problem and not only India's problem, because it affects the entire vision of the world. We still don't see cooperation to the extent to which the developed world is doing manufacturing in China. So वहाँ pollution हो रही है, उनके वहाँ नहीं हो रहा है. So I think we need to all gather our minds together, whether they are developing countries, developed countries, manufacturing countries, consumer-oriented countries, rich countries, poor countries. Those discussions are taking place, but not fast enough. काम हो रहा है, it's happening, but we need it quickly. Do you want to continue Delhi's pollution? Do we need to have all that stuff? Can we not all get together? Climate change is about health of people. How can we in the NCR or any other city in India afford not to have that climate change to be taken care of? I think that should be enemy number one.
You talked about the kind of things you are doing, but what are the challenges other developers are facing in doing similar kind of things?
There is no project in the world which doesn't have a problem. हम प्रॉब्लम को देखते रहेंगे और बोलेंगे इसके बहाने हम ये काम नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं चलेगा. You have to exert to do your best. After that, we have to see what is the problem which really comes about. So, first, I would tell my brother developers that you first prove yourself, show that you are doing good work. Support the developers who are doing good work, and we want to encourage developers who are not doing the work to do the work. It is happening. इतना नहीं हो रहा है जितना हम चाहते हैं, लेकिन शुरुआत हुई है.
So what kind of enabling policy would you advise would help us to fast track greening of the sector?
एजुकेशन, शिक्षण देनी चाहिए, सिखाना चाहिए, encourage करना चाहिए. खाली छड़ी लेके कुछ होता नहीं. So what we need to do is to educate and create. हम बाकी तो बातें करते हैं प्रेस में और सोशल मीडिया में, ये बात क्यों नहीं करते? क्यों नहीं बताते हैं कौन अच्छा काम कर रहा है? हम बुरा काम तो कोई किसकी मौत हो गई वो तो दिखाते हैं, लेकिन बताइए ना अच्छा काम कौन कर रहा है. I think we need to show good, bad, ugly, educate the people what is good happening. So carrot and stick policy is number 2. Education is number 1. Carrot and stick policy is number 2.
How does India's real estate sector compare globally on sustainability issues?
We are beginning. शुरुआत है. And I think the urban areas we are getting more sustainability, and government is also insisting on all that. Environmental clearance provisions also are mandating that to happen. So I think a good beginning has taken place in terms of it. Mumbai, for example, all our sewage goes into the sea almost raw. Now they're going to do treatment plants to do it. But we should not only put treatment plants and then put in the sea. We should do recycling plants. So the water is reused. So your requirements of raw water is reduced by 30%. So then we will be able to give 24/7 water on the pipelines of Mumbai if we just recycle the water and use for industries, gardens and such areas. So I think that needs to be done at the city and state level. Highways बना रहे हैं, ये भी करिए.
And what about the new trends that you would foresee are going to be coming into the sector? We also hear about these kind of boutique kind of interventions like biophilic design and things like that. What's your sense?
I think there are 4 or 5 segments of real estate. First of all, we talk about the infrastructure of real estate that we need to do. So you need to make roads, you have to supply water, you must see electricity, you must supply mobility. That's the external part of it that we require to do for the places that the work is there. That's the responsibility of the center, state and city. So that's important. Within the townships, we need to have a responsibility where the developer himself or herself has to really take it to the next level. And individually, persons who are the owners of houses and others need to take it themselves. So this is the segmentation with which we should be working at all the levels that we do. But I think ingrained, we do feel that मैं तो ये कर रहा हूँ लेकिन सरकार ये नहीं कर रही है, हमारे बगल के मकान वाला नहीं कर रहा है. I think that is wrong. You have to do your duty, and if everybody gets into that culture, change करना चाहिए, स्वच्छ रखना चाहिए. Cleanliness is important, not only in my house but outside my house also, in my streets also, in my city also. And wherever good thing has been done, I think we need to flag off.
Finally, it comes down to people, and people still see green construction, green buildings as expensive upfront. So, do you see any innovative business models coming into play which could really help them to offset those kind of premium costs?
So 15 years ago, we did 2 green buildings in Powai, the Crystal House and the BG House. They're platinum rated green buildings. They cost me 10 to 12% more cost than what is the normal cost. So you considered it expensive. We recovered that cost in 5 years from energy bills. That's it. After that, 15 years is profit. So people tell me that making a green building is expensive. The answer is yes. You have to pay 10 to 15% more. I don't think it's more than 10 to 12% more anyway. And you get a green building. But you recover the cost in terms of saving of electricity, saving of energy, having done whatever it is, less pollution and other things. So, if you're saying is it expensive? The answer is yes. Is it actually costly to you? The answer is no, it's cheap. Because you recover the cost and you're making profit. तो हमारे जितने भी बिल्डिंग्स हैं which are green buildings, commercial and otherwise, they are profitable buildings because after 5 years we are still giving rents and people appreciate those buildings because the energy cost in these buildings are lower than the other building. So it is actually a profit. But yes, upfront you have to invest 10 to 12%.
So do you anything that could help retail investors like me or common people who for them every person matters when they're buying the property actually? What about them? How do they really?
They're not aware. We don't make them aware of what all these things are there. People don't speak about it. उनको घर मिल गया वो खुश है. They're not available and they're not educated enough to be sensitive to all these issues. They're very happy in the long run. So when they come into my projects, which I made 30 years ago, they're very, very happy because of the sustainability factor which I've done. And today also people talk about projects which I built 30 years ago. They're still complimenting me about it simply because they are sustainable, because the quality of the buildings and the other things are positive. Now, either you think short term and you reduce the cost by 10% and don't make it sustainable, but then you don't make a reputation, you don't make a thing. Quick buck. एकदम वो आज के तारीख में हम उसका फायदा उठा के भाग जाते हैं. And you get all sorts of people in the world. So that's why working with a brand which has got a reputation, and I believe that trust and other factors come over a period of time when people realize what they're getting into and what is the situation. And that is the difference between a good and a bad project or developer.
Well, I agree it's about awareness, but at the end of the day, money also matters. And do you see financial institutions really coming in here who could play a better role in helping common people to opt for green buildings?
They do. They already do. They already do it when they know that there is a good product which is coming up, where the quality of the product is good and other things. Most of my buildings, what happens is when you go to buy that building, the eligibility, the banks and financial institutions give you an eligibility on the table. So if you are entitled to or have the capability of repaying, they don't look at the project at all because the project is already pre-approved. So what happens is that advantage from the financial institution is already there. But the point is, India is a very large country. इसलिए it's very difficult to monitor the entire country in a belt, and there are segments where developers have not proved themselves or they proved themselves badly, and people obviously criticize those wrong developments which have taken place.
What kind of a role do you see for traditional or indigenous technologies and practices even today in this? Right.
Well, traditional practices are extremely good. You keep clean, you keep all these things are good practices. But technology and change is also imperative. New materials are coming, new technology of construction is coming, better quality products are coming. So, I'm of the view that while tradition and other things are important in terms of many of the factors of construction and other things, change is going to be very imperative. So if you're not ready to change your product or your improvement in technology or marketing or sales or this thing, you will be out of date. You cannot be the leadership in the construction world. So everywhere, technology, AI, all that is happening in this field also.
You talk about Hiranandani Group upfront.
So when we talk about real estate as a development activity, let's say my company, which you talked about in Mumbai, Hiranandani Gardens, the project that we do, we had only 20 trees in 250 acres when I took up that quarry land. We have now 4 lakh trees, more than 40 feet tall. We have 25% of our land in gardens and forests. We do the largest sewage recycling plant in Mumbai, 4 million liters per day for the last 30 years we are doing recycling. And we have now a second project in Thane which also does equally. We have got 2 platinum rated, LEEDs rated buildings in Mumbai, commercial buildings which are 20 years ago. These are environmental friendly green buildings and all.
So you're also diversifying, so why does sustainability figure in all this?
Very important. every aspect of the business that we do in terms of change is sustainable. So we're looking at data centers. We work on a tier 4, which is the highest rated data center in the world. Our buildings for data centers have won international architect design awards. We work on to reduce the carbon footprint of all these things. So working on buying green power. All these aspects of sustainability come into all the diversified activity too. Maybe we are more proficient in the real estate side, so we know it more. But whatever new we take up, we also do it. So we run hotels, so we have green power there. We run hospitals, we run recycling of water there. Different aspects of it. So all those things are happening over there as far as the company is concerned. It is real estate primarily, but we do have diversified, run 14 colleges in Bombay, 45,000 students in colleges, we have 16,000 students in schools. We run skill development centers for the poorest of poor. This year we skilled 3,000 poorest of poor. So all this activity we continue to do. What makes me very unhappy कि जो चीज आप कर सकते हैं और नहीं हो रहा है, वो बहुत दुख की बात है. तो मेरे अंदाज से उसके ऊपर हम गौर करें तो अच्छा है. We have a solution, we know what's to be done and it is not getting done. Why should that happen in a Bharat which is progressive? So I think I feel sad about that because पूरे विश्व में हमको ऐसे देखते हैं लोग, हम मिलने को जाते हैं ना आज की तारीख में, oh, you come from India. So you must be intelligent, you must be clever, you must be getting prosperous, everything and all that. और मैं सोचता हूँ अरे ये क्या हुआ, वो लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं, और यहाँ हम छोटी सी चीज को हम सुधार नहीं पा रहे. ये दुख की बड़ी बात है because there is so much plus happening in the country and I'm very proud of what progress is taking place. So if we can tackle these soluble problems, करना चाहिए.
Thank you, Dr. Hiranandani, for this interesting conversation. It was wonderful talking to you and getting a sense of the sustainability trends in the sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you, sir. बहुत खुशी हुई. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We hope you like this program. We look forward to your feedback on our WhatsApp number 9818120554. For participation in this program, write to us at sustainability.karma@gmail.com. Looking forward to meet you again at the same time next week with a new episode and a new guest. Till then, goodbye from all of us. Sustainability Karma.